Check, 1, 2.
Check. Yep.
Well, hello and welcome to Idiots with Instruments, the show that follows the band Red Hot Rebellion as we write and record new music and interview industry music pros. I am Jim Tramontana, bassist and lead vocalist of Red Hot Rebellion.
Hey, I'm Doug. I play guitar.
I'm Andres. I play the drums and I sing occasionally.
It's pretty badass, isn't it? So, welcome. What do you think?
Thanks.
We're gonna feel like doing a little interview?
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's run it right now. Joining us today is Sonnet Simmons, a singer, songwriting and vocal coach, and vice president of Catch the Moon Music, a Los Angeles-based boutique music placement and licensing company. Sonnet, welcome to Idiots with Instruments. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, it's nice to talk to you today on the fine, Wednesday?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. So on the phone with us, or on the line over here, is also Andres Rebellion. He is our drummer, and he's a very nice boy. Say hi, Andres.
Hi.
Hi. How fun.
Yeah.
So I'll get to hang out.
Could you please tell us a little bit about Catch the Moon Music and what you guys do for indie artists in the, in the field of licensing music for TV and film and advertising and that whole spiel?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Catch the Moon Music is a licensing company, which means we represent music and we pitch it for TV, film, and ads. And we represent indie artists, so artists that aren't signed, artists that control the majority of their songs. Most of our songs are one-stop, which means that there's not a publishing company or label involved. And we pitch these songs to advertising agencies, to music supervisors for TV and film, and we also fulfill searches, so they'll reach out to us. These supervisors or advertising agencies that reach out to us and they say, do you have a song like this? And we'll send them a folder of all of the songs that fit that kind of a search. And so that's basically what we're all about. We also have some songwriting for sync classes that we do online for artists, giving them kind of the inside scoop of what works for sync, how do you get your songs placed, how do you make a living doing what you love? That's like, I'm an artist. Our president and founder is an artist. So that's how it got started. She was licensing her own music and then started representing other people and just kind of having another platform to make money as an artist and to have your songs have a purpose and figuring out, how do you stay true to yourself as an artist and also hit certain markers that work for placement, depending on, where you see your songs going. And so we teach those classes and we also sign artists and pitch their songs.
That's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know it started with just Cathy, and she kind of made a name for herself for being a very successful indie artist who broke into music licensing herself, and then did she just start taking on like friends, or was it kind of like a thing where like people were like, well, how'd you do that, Cathy? And she just got sick of it and she's like, all right, I'm gonna start my own agency.
I think there's both of those things happened. She started, people started asking her if she could pitch their music. She was written about in Billboard and Variety and all these different places. So people started hearing about her and realizing that she was doing this for herself. And then some people approached her and said, would you pitch my music? And I think at first she didn't do it, and then she took on a couple of people and she just started building it from there. And then people were like, what's your secret? How do you get all these songs placed? Like, how do you know what songs they need? And so she started just kind of teaching these classes outside of her house and then doing some live classes in LA and then ultimately doing these online classes so that she can reach students around the world. So now we teach these to students our artists really are like around the world.
That's amazing. So
that's great.
Did your current roster of artists that work with Catch the Moon, did they come out of the educational the classes, or is this kind of, did they happen independent of one another?
Both are true again. So we do have we do sign some of the artists. I mean, that is the goal, is like have these amazing artists learn what kind of special little markers work to make things especially syncable, and then to be able to sign them. And we can't sign everybody, so we also connect them with other licensing agents that might be better suited to take them on, because everybody's music is different and everybody has different reach. And then we also have artists that we just sign independently of the class and are not a part of our class. So just, doing it right, and something that we want to have access to be able to pitch.
That's cool. So like an indie can like say, hey, here's my catalog, take a look at it. Am I right for your roster? Do you accept like submissions that way? That's cool. We
do. So, I mean, we get hundreds of emails like that, like everybody does. And we do allow submissions, but we are really
selective.
Emphasize the research. Yeah. Well, we're very selective, of course, but also like research what you're sending, like whether you're sending it to us at Catch the Moon or any licensing agent, like what is it that they need? So what are we pitching for? What have we placed before? What kind of music do we kind of represent? And how can you help us? Like what, so I think sometimes people are like, here are all the links to all my things. And there's a really long email, and can you give me some feedback? And it's just like, no on all of the above, because I'm overwhelmed by everything that you just sent. So if you're like, here are 3 songs, they're my strongest songs, my contact information, something that like stands out and is cute and friendly in the email that makes me like want to read it, and I can get a gist from those 3 songs and say, oh, I want to hear more. It's really like, I could go on forever about how to send stuff. But
because I've heard Cathy mention that before, is that, I guess and a lot of other people say the same thing, is like, you can't just blind, like blast everybody in the world. It's like, you gotta treat them like a human being. And like, if you're a death metal band, you're probably not the right fit for you guys who are more, like more indie, more upbeat, more, I don't know what's the word, like now versus niche. There's still
marketable.
Marketable. There's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Not the blood and guts screaming, but there's a market for that, and gold.
Exactly. There really is.
Yeah.
So, you guys have done like a lot of big clients I've seen on your website, and is that something that you have found through pitching to different ad agencies, or do they come to you? I think you touched on that a little bit, but like, say your day-to-day, how much of it is pitching versus like getting briefs and trying to fulfill searches for other music supervisors?
I'd say most of our day is spent, so we're constantly filling, once we reach out to people and we connect with them and they become a relationship, we want them to send us their searches and their briefs. So a lot of the day is spent fulfilling those because we've made the connection. And then 50% of the time, we're just trying to connect with people that we don't know, and people that who maybe there's so many advertising agencies, and there's just today we had a meeting with a production company, and we brought them donuts, and we came in and we met them in their offices, and their cool offices downtown, and just to constantly be creating new places for our artists' music to be placed. And so it's pretty 50-50. And like not every day, obviously it's 50-50, but we try to, throughout the week or the month, we try to create so that we're both fulfilling what the relationships and keeping the relationships warm that we have, and creating new ones and getting more searches.
Yeah. And, speaking of relationships, so like if you're an artist and you're working on new material, and you've developed a relationship with certain music supervisors, and they've heard everything you've had and they've liked it, but you have new, like how important is it to like kind of maintain the relationship outside of just like always giving them like, hey, this is a new song, hey, this is a new song, and then at what point does it become creepy because we've developed some pretty good music supervisor friends, but they happen to just like us being in our quirky selves. But like other people I think I've creeped out by by
somewhat stalker-esque.
Yeah.
That sucks. I know, but I think it's to each their own, right? Because I think we've probably had something similar where we're like, one person was like, "Oh my gosh, like me too." That's you totally relate and jive, and then you say that same thing to somebody else, and they're like, "I don't understand what you're saying."
Right.
And so, like, you just kind of marginalize yourself off to the side there. But I think it's incredibly important to stay connected with them and not like every week. So you can message, think about them like human beings. We always talk about it, and I know just because we're also pitching, think about them like people that we know. So you reach out and you're trying to fulfill something that they might need. So here's a new song. This is what's new in my life. Like, how are you? Something cute. Maybe you saw them update something on their Facebook page, and you're like, your dog's really cute, or whatever it might be that just kind of keeps that intimate relationship going, but like not so intimate that you creep them out.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so we've spoken to a couple different music supervisors for the show, and also a couple like executives and ad agencies. But you're the first person we've talked to that actually teaches music licensing. And I mean, our listeners kind of run all over the gamut. They're usually they're indie artists, and they're like us, they're idiots.
But people who don't know what they're doing but are trying to.
Yeah. So
trying to find out.
Like life. I mean, you can't get a manual for that.
Yeah, 100%.
So I guess what my question is does the courses that you offer kind of apply across the board for all modern music, or would a hip hop artist get as much out of it as like a folk indie artist versus like a metal band?
Versus like EDM?
Yeah, versus EDM. And and I guess if you could talk more about the courses, because I think that's a lot of people have asked us, where can we learn more about licensing? So like, pitch away.
Yeah. I think everybody gets something from it, because it's not just genre specific. It's about what, certain things that really work. Like, does your music offer build? Does it have breakdowns? Does it have universal lyrics? Are there just things that really apply across the board, no matter what your genre is? And even if you are like folk, does it sound modern, or is it really like retro sounding, and so you're going to be really niche to this kind of a search? Or is there a way that you can expand your genre, because you're going to marry your folk sound with like somebody else in the class who does EDM, and you have like this really cool fresh sound that's happening that really works well for ad placements, because it's fresh and it's something that people can wrap their head around, and yet it's still like very true to who you are as an artist, and pushes your comfort zone. So I think that we try not to be too genre specific, and more like, how do you really excel at what you do, and make sure that you add all these different components to the music that you're doing.
And are the classes
for your best
cohorted?
chances.
I'm sorry. Are the classes cohorted, like where you just like, this is the fall session and we're accepting 20 people and we're all going to go through the class together, and then we do a spring one, or is it kind of all year long?
We open it up right now for enrollment about 3 times a year.
Okay.
And then, so people are in it at different points. Some people have been in it for 6 months. Some people have been in it for 9. Some people are just joining. And so it's not something where you have to be there from the beginning. You can jump in, because there's curriculum you can do on your own, and then we have these monthly classes that are online, and we interview music supervisors and advertising agencies, and so it's kind of just this continuous knowledge of what's current, what's fresh, what's being asked for. You have an assignment every month that you get to pitch to Catch the Moon, so that we can add that to our catalog if it's the highest caliber, and we can pitch it. So some of our artists in the class are getting pitched, and they're getting licenses. Like just last month, we had one get a license, and through an assignment that they had in the class. So it's just an ongoing class, and then we open it up for enrollment a couple times a month,
Cool.
a couple times a year.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's neat.
do you guys like split the publishing with them, or what do you guys take a cut out of the stuff?
No, we don't.
Really?
It's like the most fair contract. So yeah, we don't take publishing. Certain situations we might, like if we're in the room writing or whatever,
Right.
or we put everybody together, but we don't take publishing, which is really rare. And for this kind of world, we're both artists, and we come from an artist background of friendly advocates for artists. So it's just,
So
we're not out there for that.
So, like, say, like McDonald's wants to license Billy's song, and he's in your class. Do you? And they're like, there's a $1,000 like upfront licensing fee. Do you guys split that, or does that just go to the agency?
Yeah, we just do the upfront fees.
Okay, and then all the like performance royalties and
Yeah,
stuff.
residuals.
Yeah, we don't
goes
take
straight-
back end.
Cool, that's super cool. So, speaking of you being an artist, I know you were on ABC's Rising Star with Josh Groban and Keisha and Ludacris. That's crazy. So what's Grobe's like? Did you like hang out with him?
We hung out a little bit. He's pretty cool. I mean, he's exactly what you would think he is. Just he's not any different than how he appears to be. He's like friendly, he's interested, and a little bit nerdy, but like I like nerds, so that's all good with me.
That's
you know,
us too.
He's like doing his thing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So, are you still writing and recording and performing yourself, or?
I am. I'm still trying to do it all. I'm a new mom, so
congratulations!
I'm just trying to figure out how to be like a mom right now.
Right.
But I also think that like I've been writing and recording a lot more as well since having a baby, just because I feel like gives you perspective on what's important and making sure that you keep the pieces of you that are really essential to who you are. And at least that's what I'm thinking this motherhood thing is about, like make sure that you don't just fall down the rabbit hole of motherhood while still being really present for your child. So I am writing and recording a lot, and I'm working on like a new project with like lullabies, just for fun with so
so it's your child is your co-writer now, right?
Yeah, she's my co-writer. She's my muse.
Your muse and your co-writer. That's amazing.
Oh, that's fun.
Messages would I like to be sharing with my child, and so I'm just kind of trying to write songs around that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So is that do you foresee that continuing? Are you gonna be like the lullaby lady, or is this just kind of you write what you know? And right now,
I think I'm just doing that right now. I'm not going to be like the lullaby lady. I think
I don't want to pigeonhole you,
Right. I mean, like,
I probably
Raffi made
just
a
write one or two and feel like, I got that. Now that's good. And continue on my way. I'm also working on a lot of like, I write for licensing and I'm working on my own record that's going to be out hopefully at the beginning of next year.
That's cool.
So it's just all of those things.
Nice.
Would you, like a new band or a new artist coming up right now, would you suggest they try to like pursue licensing themselves, or is it such a free-for-all of madness out there that they could probably need some hand-holding and maybe go with a licensing, like a song plugger or a big music library? What's the word on the street for what works now for someone just coming up just getting started?
No, good question. I think it's great to have somebody pitching your music because they're seeing all sorts of different searches that are coming in, and music supervisors are coming to them for more regularly than they might just come to a certain particular artist. And they also have relationships that have taken them years to build where you might not have those just out of the gate. I would say also, if you can try to negotiate that contract where you can still be pitching your own stuff. Maybe other companies aren't pitching it, but if you can pitch it, then you can still create your own relationship with music supervisors, and you can still be building your own catalog with those connections while somebody else is pitching your stuff as well. Like, there's no harm in and just having more feet on the ground and more people, doing it for you.
And
I'd also say music supervisors, add one more thing, like they come to pitching companies because they know they can trust them in terms of like clearance, and is it easy, are these songs easy to clear, have they, it's just kind of, they've been vetted ahead of time, so that's just always a little bit of peace of mind.
Right. And are you guys exclusive with your artists, or can they work on
we offer both kind of contracts, just depending on the situation.
Very cool. Andres, do you want to ask your magic question?
Yeah.
I have a magic question.
Yeah, he has the standard question he likes to ask everybody.
Yeah, I'm just curious about it. So what did you do before this professionally, and how did you kind of segue into music professionally?
I've always been in music. I went to school for music. I've always been songwriting. I've always been on the artist side, though, so just like singing and songwriting and placing my own stuff. And I segued into adding this into my world, because I don't think that I've like given up the other side. I've just kind of added another component because I was just, it feels like as an artist, you're so in the dark. Like, there's this mysterious side. On the other side, you hope someone's going to come and make all these dreams come true for you. And I think I felt that way for a really long time. And like, I was an artist, and would you please listen to my music? And I just didn't get how the pieces all fit together. And meeting Cathy and working with her, and then I just was like, I want to work with you. I see that you need help. And like, I kept showing up at her door, and like, finally she hired me.
Nice.
She's just like, I gotta give this lady a job. She's already here anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We like lived down the street from each other, and I would be like, I did this for you. I did this. And like, just kept showing up, which is something that we talk about. Like, you just kind of keep showing up to the things that you want in your life. And so that's kind of how I started adding this to my world. And Cathy was a big pivotal part of that inspiration and education.
Did you have like a regular job while you were going to college, or?
I like bartended and waited tables, and I was a bookkeeper, and I taught voice lessons. I mean, I've done a lot of jobs.
You hustle.
Yeah, no, that's
You're
cool.
a hustler, kid.
I mean, because it's like you have to do something for money, even like during the pursuit of, what this, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that can be sometimes like so soul sucking sometimes.
Right. And that's where we are. Yeah. Like, we're at the soul sucking part.
No, that sucks.
No.
Well, I would say that that doesn't have to be soul sucking if you can figure out ways to, like this licensing idea. Like, and when you meet other people that are same, like-minded, creating music that really works and are showing up and really taking action and feeling positive in their everyday momentum, that it just is a game shifter. So even if you have to go to that job, you still feel like you've got a game plan and you've got a roadmap, and you're feeling really inspired about how you're making your life look.
Mindset. It's all about mindset.
Yeah.
It's the reaching for the goal and working toward that.
Yeah.
And kind of baby stepping your way there, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just like everybody else, it's always, there's so many good reminders out there, but the baby steps are true. It's like, you got to just keep showing up and doing the work, and bit by bit it comes together.
Yeah.
Well, where can we find you on the line, Sonnet? Are you on the Twitter, on the Faceplace? Where do you hang out?
I'm on Faceplace and Instagram mostly. You can find me at Sonnet Music personally. Also, you can find Catch the Moon Music. And then if you want to we get like a free download of all the different song kind of genres, what music supervisors are looking for right now. You can go to sixfiguresongwriting.com, SIX, the number spelled out, sixfiguresongwriting.com, and get a free download. So something that's been asked about all the time is like, where can we get the breakdown of what's being asked for? So we just kind of compiled a lot of the searches that have been coming in and created a little breakdown for people, and I thought I'd offer that to your listeners. It's free. You can go and grab it.
Nice.
There.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
We will put that in the show notes and blast it out to everybody.
Yeah.
That's
Yay,
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. This has been
I'm
fun.
so happy to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll check in with you in a little while and give you the update on on whether our souls
how
are
we're
still
doing.
being sucked.
Yeah, my
some
soul is
days
mostly
are
intact.
just like, what's that?
My soul is mostly intact. I've been lucky enough to find some things that I really enjoy doing other than music, but
Good.
yeah. I still want music to be the main thing that I do at some point.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I felt like after that reality show that you guys talked about,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. 'Cause
Right.
It's so up and down, and there's no guarantees, and I took my foot way off the gas, and I got married. I just was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But then, I just music is there. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be who you are. If you're an artist and you find ways of staying true to that. So by just staying open to all the opportunities that there are out there and hustling for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. See, that's keeping your head screwed on straight, kids.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Some days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Every once in a while.
That's really all you need is that some days your head is screwed on.
Yeah, as long as
That's good. That makes you feel better.
Yeah, it's the law of averages.
it all worked out.
Yeah, I like that. That's great.
Awesome. So, okay, kids out there, look for sixfiguresongwriter.com. Did I get it right? Songwriting.
Writing.
Yeah, .com. And sonnetmusic.com. If you can find me,
sonnetmusic.com.
message me, ask me questions.
Yeah.
And Catch the Mune Music. You can just Google that and get all that good information out there. Sonnet Simmons, thank you so much for the phone call, and we will talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, she was really nice.
Awesome.
All right, so that'll do it for this episode of Idiots with Instruments. Idiots with Instruments is a free listener-supported show, and if you want to do something awesome for us, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Or, hey, you know what they could do, Doug? They could share the show on social media with the hashtag Idiots with Instruments. What do you think of that?
That's great.
Or you could be super awesome and become a patron of the show. We have a bunch of great rewards set up for as low as $1, and you can help steer the future of the show for all eternity. Did you know that, Anders? You can just head over to idiotswithinstruments.com and click the reward that tickles your fancy.
Is that $1 a month?
$1 a month.
That sounds very reasonable.
It is extremely reasonable.
$12 a year?
Yeah, for all this grand entertainment
Yeah.
and fucking insights and knowledge from the man himself, Vincenzo Fiorello.
Yeah.
Our goal here is not only to entertain, but to also share insight into the insane world of the music industry.
Yep.
We hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time. As always, I'm Jim Tremontana saying, keep it simple.
I'm Doug. Stay hydrated.
I'm Andres. Never play acoustic.
Lay it on thick!
Idiots with Instruments is a Solid Arts and Science production. All rights reserved throughout the multiverse. Please subscribe and review the show on iTunes or your podcatcher of choice. Visit idiotswithinstruments.com for exclusive bonus material and to support or sponsor this show.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Awesome.